Hey, what's going on?
Oh, just finishing up the day.
Busy day, I would imagine.
Yeah, right, be right back.
All right.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're good. Scooch over.
I'm in.
No, you're
Troy,
not.
Troy, it's nice to put a face to the name.
Yeah.
I met Leslie way a long time ago when I first started this journey of Donutbragger. And, you know, for me, this is a real exciting time for me to have both of you on my show. You know, it's kind of like, you know, when I look at donuts, I look at like donut royalty, and, you know, I consider the Donut Project as, you know, one of the ones that are, you know, top of my list.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We appreciate that. It's a labor of love, so we do appreciate that.
Yeah. So for those of you watching today, I have Troy and Leslie, co-founders of the Donut Project, based in beautiful New York City. You know, where I'm originally a New Yorker from Long Island, and I'm a transplant to Florida like most of the other people here.
Yes, definitely.
But I certainly get back to New York often, and Donut Project is definitely one of the stops on my list. And so for those of you watching today, we're going to talk donuts. We're going to talk history. We're going to talk not so much about politics, more about sweets and, you know, the good things in life. And, you know, with something that I've been saying week over week is, you know, I don't think I've ever seen somebody that was eating a donut and not smiling. And, you know, we need more smiling in the world today, and we need more people just being nice to each other. And, you know, enjoying donuts. So we'll get into it here. I have some questions for you to start off, and please, those of you that are watching today, feel free to, you know, write comments, and we'll get to those as well. But let's get started and tell us the story behind the Donut Project and how this came to fruition.
Go ahead.
I met Troy while he was bartending at Italy, which is a huge Italian market restaurant extravaganza situation in the Flatiron District. And I was actually living in New York at the time, and I would come to New York a lot, and I always go sit at the bar with my husband and have beautiful food and drinks, and Troy would always be there, and we just became friends. And he mentioned that he wanted to open a donut shop, and I pulled out my phone and I showed him pictures of donuts, and they were donuts in LA that were cake and had frosting and had sprinkles on them. And he said, well, I don't want to make sprinkled donuts. And I said, that's cool, we don't have to make sprinkled donuts, but I love them and they make me very happy, and I would love to get involved. I'm moving to New York. So fast forward, I moved to New York. We had lost contact, but then somehow found each other again, and started writing a business plan, raised a little bit of capital, and it took about 3 years or so, and we finally opened in October of 2015.
Wow, 5 years! It's incredible. That's 5 years. I mean,
I know.
it seems like it was just like maybe a year ago that I was there for the first time, but 5 years has passed, and it's incredible what you've both have accomplished in those 5 years. I mean, you know, the social media today is really something that drives business, and for a donut shop in New York on Mott Street, right?
Yeah, more, yeah, but
Morton.
close.
Close to it. And to have 132,000 followers and be verified on Instagram, like that is such a tremendous accomplishment. You know, especially in the donut scene, right? You know, because there's a lot. I'd say over the last 2-3 years, there's a lot of donut shops that are popping up, and you know, it's become the cupcake of, you know, I'd say 2007, maybe 2008, when everywhere was a cupcake shop, and donuts are popping up all over the place. So I don't know if I spend a lot of time looking at donuts on social media, but if you look, you don't see any donut shops doing near as much that you are doing, and which is really incredible. So how many locations do you have now?
Well, we had two. We had our second location that we opened 2 years ago, which was up near Central Park. And unfortunately, we had to, due to the coronavirus, we had to make the decision to close it down. It was very sad, but we are back to our original location in West Village, which is where our kitchen is. And, you know, we had always supplied the donuts for our other locations. So that location, the area is not, the market of who was there was tourists and office workers, and it's kind of all dried up, and who knows when it's going to come back. And we just made sense to try to get back to the original OG and keep the brand alive during this time.
Sure. So talking about coronavirus, it's a crazy time right now, you know, and a lot of businesses have transitioned and had to make tough choices like you had to make with that location. What are some of the other things that you had to do to transition your business in the last 3 to 4 months that kept things moving in the right direction? What are some of the changes you had to make?
Everything's been pretty much streamlined. There's only 3 of us working now, so I think everybody that's here it doesn't matter what the task is in front of us. We just have to figure out a way to do it and to do it faster and better and more efficient. And we've learned a lot in the last 2.5 months or so.
Yeah.
A lot of things. I think the donuts are better than they've ever been. But we're also closed 2 days a week now, so the 3 of us just work 5 days, Wednesday through Sunday, and by Sunday we're ready to be done.
Yeah.
You're right. And
so we pivoted to a shorter work week, you know, and then also just each of the key people that are here can do anything. They can help with the donuts, they can place the donuts, they can work up front, they can make coffees, they can do whatever. So it's just having, you know, multi-talented people that can step in any role at any time and keep the business going.
And the way we sell the donuts now has definitely changed. Postmates is our main delivery service, and our online ordering ahead of time. You can just see the percentages shift from actually people just walking in the door asking for a single donut or so. But
right.
that helps a lot too.
Yeah, definitely a lot of delivery and a lot of pre-orders where we have them packaged and ready for you in the window, and you can just come in and get them. So it's kind of pre-order, delivery, and we do still take walk-ins for takeout.
And Father's Day is tomorrow, so remember, go get your Father's Day donut wherever you're at.
Exactly. Definitely get your Father's Day donuts. I'm hoping that I'm going to get some donuts tomorrow too. They were already talking about it. So the last week I had, 2 weeks ago, I had Diablo Donuts based out of Maryland on the show, and his business transitioned similar to more online, shortened work week. And he said that, it's making life a little bit easier, and you know what you're selling, right? He's like, I'm selling out before I even make a donut.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Which is a nice problem to have.
Yeah, the numbers are definitely shorter, and so we either sell out really early for some reason, or we're right to our time frame. We know exactly what the number is, and we don't stray from it. It's interesting. The weekday and the weekends are completely different. Like today was definitely a day to sell out. It's beautiful here in Manhattan.
Wednesdays and Thursdays are a little quieter, and that's the day that we prep and plan and prepare for the weekend. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's very busy. Postmates is ringing. We've got delivery orders. Pre-orders in the window. There's a line down the street. It's very, very busy, and by pretty much by 1 o'clock, from 9 to 1, and that's it. It's pretty much over after that.
Yeah.
So you hustle for that shorter amount of time, but it's a lot more hustle.
Yeah, but we're working 11-hour days, so we only open for 4.5 hours. Yeah. I can't figure that out.
Yeah.
So do you both bake and fry and do everything?
We do it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask, so I can ask both of you this question. What what is your favorite donut to make?
To make or to eat?
That's going to be part 2.
Oh, that's
to
part
make.
2.
Well, the dough, I mean, the yeast raised dough, is more where I get involved. We have other doughs where I haven't gotten my hands dirty with that yet. Our head pastry chef handles our curler dough and our old-fashioned dough, and Troy does old-fashioned dough as well. I help more with the yeast dough, frying, flipping, glazing, filling, all of that stuff, topping. So, the yeast is where I work the most.
Mm-hmm.
The yeast raised dough is pretty much my baby from the start out of my apartment. So if I look at them every donut, I go nuts. I'm like down this weird rabbit hole with how they work and how everything is. Our head pastry chef Maddie, she does the cruller dough, and it's a technical skill that I have zero of. So we let her take that. And the old-fashioned dough is very manual, like it's physical. When you're done working with it, I'm just tired. So
also the new technique of the rolls. We've gone through this roll period where we do a special roll every weekend, and those are fun new technique that we've been doing, and kind of increase that new technique during this time.
And the maple bars, I like making the maple bars because that's a West Coast love, and we kind of brought out this way towards New York, and we have a small group of followers that have transplanted out from the West Coast, and they can't find their maple bar, so they come here.
That's what they're looking for.
Yeah. So it's a simple donut, and it's supposed to be simple. So. And
what about donuts to eat? What's the favorite donut to eat?
Peanut butter and jelly. It's my favorite.
I usually
3.0.
BOG 2.0 and 3.0. Those are my favorites.
She just wants a scoop of peanut butter and everything. Usually it's the Bronx, the olive oil and black pepper. It's not on our menu right now, but if one of the old fashions breaks, that's probably going to be my breakfast.
I like that too.
Yeah, the lemon poppy old fashioned is really good too.
So, my favorite donut from the Donut Project is the Everything Bagel Donut. The Everything Donut.
Very special.
It was the first donut I had there because I never saw it anywhere else, and I was like, I just have to have it, and it is my favorite that you make. That is number 1, and number 2 is definitely going to be the lemon poppy old fashioned.
Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
Those are my 2. Those are my go-to when I come there. For some reason, I always miss my opportunity for those special premiere donuts that you guys do.
You gotta get up early for those.
Yeah.
But I happen to have won 2 of the giveaways that you've done and sponsored. I have some visitors here. These are my donut eating children.
That's a good donut right there.
So, and I posted both of them recently just so that people can see some of the things that I've done. But the first one was the English sparkling wine infused donut.
Yes.
Where I sent a friend of mine's daughter, and she happened to bring 2 of her Juilliard friends, and then they went into a cappella about the donut.
Wow.
So you have to check it out. That was one of them that I was like, I won. I can't go, so they went. And then the other one was the National Bourbon Heritage for the
Four Roses.
Yeah, the Four Roses competition. And one of my other friends, who's a teacher in Manhattan, got the benefit of that one too. So
awesome.
Those are both on my Instagram feed. So anyone watching, check them out. There's some fun videos that spotlight some of these collaboration donuts that you do. How do you get involved in the collaboration scene with these donuts? Do they approach you? Do you approach them? How does that work?
It all started with I approached O&Co Olive Oil to help sponsor our Bronx donut. That was like our initial dipping the toe in the water, but it really started when Angry Orchard reached out to us and wanted to do a collaboration on National Donut Day, which hindsight, it was a horrible situation because National Donut Day is our busiest day of the year, and we don't like to typically do partnerships and collaborations and special things that aren't like the planned situation. But that was like our first like partnership with a large brand, and we just, because we were influenced by food and cocktails and did a lot of alcohol donuts. Alcohol brands would just reach out to us and say, "Hey, it's National Tequila Day or National Rosé Day. Can you create a donut for us?" And we would be like, "Yeah, of course." So it just kind of started more with the alcohol, and then it moved into doing, getting approached by Disney to do Avengers donuts and Trolls donuts, and working with restaurants to do restaurant series donuts. And so it just kind of blossomed into this thing that every weekend we would have either a collaboration or some special weekend special donut that we were doing. And we've kind of tried to keep that model going. Every weekend you can get a donut, either Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that it's gone off the menu. It's that limited time to get it. And
So
we're looking forward to the restaurants opening back up so we can work with them again.
yeah, and you did a grilled cheese one also, right?
Yes, we did.
That was so a very good friend of mine, also who stopped in, and he's a very well-known pastry chef, Chef Max Santiago.
Oh, I know Max. He's been here many times.
Yeah, so he just opened his donut shop,
Yes, I saw that.
and he's doing some pop-up stuff. So and he kind of turned me on to the Donut Project originally, and it's making these donuts for Disney, and I mean, where do you go from there? Like, what's the next thing? I mean, that's like reaches the top. You're working with Disney on a donut. Like, did you ever think about?
And Hot Ones.
The Hot Ones.
Hot
We did the Hot
Ones
Ones donut. That was unbelievable.
That was a fun
yeah,
one,
that
too.
was really cool with Sean Evans from the Hot Ones YouTube series.
Yeah.
Crispy fried chicken skin, blue cheese crumble, and the Hot One sauce is the glaze.
Yeah,
and
it was amazing.
It was outstanding.
We sold like 300 of them in like 2 hours. Like, it was just crazy.
It
A
was-
line around the lot.
It had a sneakerheads kind of Comic-Con line feel to it because people were jazzed up to talk with Sean and talk about the hot sauce and stuff. It was nuts. It was crazy.
That's so awesome.
But we, in addition to brands like, Disney and Hot Ones, we worked with Freeform a couple times here recently to promote a new series of a TV show. And then we work with corporate brands. Like, we've worked with Valspar and Estee Lauder to do donuts mimicking paint colors or makeup colors. And so we all are always doing fun, cool projects like that, and hence the name, the Donut Project.
Oh, that's what.
That's why we call it.
Yeah, what's the story behind the name?
Well, our name is really Donut Bar.
Don't tell anybody, but our LLC is the Donut Bar, DBA, the Donut Project, because I was a bartender. We had a bar-shaped donut, alcohol, but we were told that there's one in San Diego with similar spelling, so we changed it to this, and we're still here. I don't know.
No, we had to change it for trademark purposes because our name is protected by trademark protection. And we spent one day brainstorming to try to figure out what our name would be. I'm not kidding. We sat in a restaurant for all day, and we came up with the Donut Project. And there it is.
Never look back.
Never look back. And it fits. It fits with what we do.
Of course, and all the collaborations and everything like that. So have you ever had a donut eating competition at the Donut Project?
One.
And that will be the only one.
It gets
Well,
pretty.
It won't happen again.
And it was in our early stages, and people thought it would be a volume game, but it wasn't. It was a speed game with no hands, and we made bigger donuts with our brownie batter glaze that was freshly glazed. It was a wreck. It was a mess. So people were sitting in our windows, and people were outside with their phone. I had Rocky theme song playing. I would get them all pumped up, and we didn't know this at the time, but there was 2 competitive eaters in the brackets on both sides. And these 2 guys faced off, were talking smack to each other, and they just ate these donuts like there's none. It was so fast, it was crazy. But as you might have known, out there in the donut world, something did happen. So we do not do eating contests anymore.
Something bad happened at one of those events, so we don't do that.
Yeah.
And the prize was that they got to rename a donut, and we hated the name.
That was a bad move.
We hated the name that the person named it. We were like,
He named it after himself.
Yeah.
So somebody changed the toppings and called it something else after that.
Oh man, I did one donut eating competition, and I had to eat 6 donuts in 5 minutes.
Oh
but these were like, they're not regular donuts. They're like, they were brioche dough. You know, some of them were like twice fried. I mean, and I didn't eat for 2 days after. You know, it was on National Donut Day. It was crazy. But they didn't let me name a donut. But I do have 2 donuts that I created for 2 shops that they don't have my name in it. I have the Modern Day Homer.
That's a good name.
Which is a cronut. It's a cronut filled with Bavarian cream, and like has the strawberry glaze and sprinkles. And then I have B-Dubs Toasted, which is a Long John that it has brulee bananas, bacon, and it has cream cheese frosting inside.
Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds really good.
Holy moly!
Yeah, it's a lot. You know, so now, so as far as volume, how many donuts would you say on a busy day are made?
These days, on a busy day, we're doing with 3 people between 650 and 800 donuts, which is a lot because we roll and cut by hand. On the slower days, like a Wednesday or Thursday, we'll probably do around 350 or so. So there's definitely a difference in how our Friday, Saturday, Sundays go versus,
Sure.
Wednesday. So.
So there's someone on here that wanted to ask a question. If you shave the beard off, can I have it?
This is just it's a fake beard. I have hooks around my So absolutely, it'll grow back, but the top doesn't grow back, just the bottom.
And another question. Someone wanted to know, what was the bad name?
Oh, the Wayne
Wonder.
His name was Wayne.
Wayne. The guy's name was Wayne. So.
Oh man, that's worse.
Yeah.
That's has Netflix ever approached? There's a lot of questions. Has Netflix ever approached you to make a Tiger King donut?
We made one.
We made one ourselves.
They didn't approach us.
Yeah, that was the Doughnut Exotic. We had a good time. It was a peanut butter glaze with spicy chocolate stripes, and then we just had a bunch of awful bling, like just whatever, like horrible colors that we just threw on it.
Yeah,
it
you can look at the Instagram. This was right when the coronavirus hit and New York City got locked down, and everyone was at home watching Netflix, and it just kind of was like a joke, and we were like, hey, let's do a donut just to make be funny and make people laugh, and people loved it. We had a line out the door for it.
But our best Netflix movie themed donut was definitely our Stranger Things.
Yes.
For the 2nd season of Stranger Things, where we did a little tiny mini maple donut with the Eggo and the nosebleed raspberry off the side.
Lego my Eggo.
That's right. Lego my Eggo.
Yeah, that was very
one.
popular.
I had that one. That was good.
That's funny.
Let's see. We have Terry Anger. I miss seeing my daughter Maddie with you. You all are absolutely amazing.
Hey.
Aww.
Maddie's our pastry chef. Hey.
Oh, awesome. That's great. A lot of love for Disney. A lot of love for the Maple Crawlers.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
People are crazy.
Yeah. There's Bob. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob. He comes every day.
It's almost like you have those customers that are they become friends after a while. Like they come in so often that they become your friends because you see them every day almost.
That's one of the things that we feel like our shop is. I mean, we pride ourselves on it being an experience, and when you walk through the door, you get greeted, and we talk to you, and we find out where you're from. And before Corona, we would have people visiting us from all over the world, and so it was always interesting to see where people had just traveled from, and to find out we're on their list of places to go in New York City. It was such an honor. So yeah, we get to know our locals, but also we have people who visit from Germany every year, and like we know they're coming, and they come visit us, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, like the response. Like, I mean, there are so many people out there that don't respond. Right? You write to them, they don't respond. And from the moment that I've ever reached out, you always respond. You're always, there to talk about anything, and that says a lot about an organization like yours. Is that, you care about the feedback. You care about the people that are talking about your shop, and
Definitely.
I truly, appreciate you being a part of my Sweet Talk Saturday. I started this on, just something my wife's like, you're not traveling as much. You can't go to all the shops that you like to go to. You should do something out of the box and, start doing these live interviews with donut shop owners and, getting their story and getting the word out, because so much is on social media today. So for me, this is out of my comfort zone, but, I'm starting to have fun with it. And, because my Instagram is not me. My Instagram is all about the donuts, and that's it. I'm not talking in my posts. It's all about the donuts. So I really appreciate you being a part of this. So I made my own everything bagel soup and
Hey,
donut. um, I wish I can have one here, but unfortunately, as we talked, donuts don't ship well.
no.
They do not.
I'll put one in a FedEx envelope for you. I'll send it down to you. It'll be great
Yeah.
when it gets there.
We get asked every day, "Do you ship your donuts?" And we're like, "No." We've tried it so many times, and just testing it, like shipping it to ourselves, and it does not work. Doesn't
Right, and I so Gold Belly, Gold Belly.
Yeah.
I found like there's a pastry chef here that was on Buddy Guy's show on TLC, the Carlos Bakery, and he had a Cinnabon donut hybrid thing, and I was like, he came in second place, and I asked, how are they going to ship your donuts worldwide? Like, he's like, basically people have to make the donuts themselves. They shipped everything frozen. You have to do. I was like, oh, so that's how they ship it. They want you to do all the work. I just want someone to ship it, and it gets to my, my house exactly the way I would at the shop. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. I have a question for you. So, what is your favorite donut shop to visit, or is there one that has inspired you to do other things? Is there one that you could think of?
So I believe that donuts are very nostalgic because you have a spot where you went when you were a little kid or something that you remember from. So the donuts that I thoroughly enjoy are going back to Seattle, where I'm from. Hey, how are you? And, they're very simple, old school cake donuts. It's Top Pot in Seattle is one of them that I go to. But there is a little bakery coffee shop outside of Seattle called Grateful Bread that does a cinnamon roll that I die for every time. If I drive by the place, I'm done. I'm going in there. And they only make a few a day. It's a small little place, and and I don't share it either. It's huge.
I grew up in the South, and I only knew Krispy Kreme. I didn't know that other things existed. All the donut shops were Krispy Kreme. And then I moved to California, and it's all mom and pop. There are some chains like Winchell's and stuff like that, but
Lucky Star Donuts.
Yeah, Lucky Star or Wendy's or Winchell. I mean, just kind of low key, very donut shops. And I fell in love with the cake donuts in LA and just loved it. And that's why when I decided to do this, I was like, oh, let's do this. And he's like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, we do sprinkles sometimes.
We do sprinkles sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta have the classic white ice with sprinkles.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you do anything with brioche dough?
No, we have 3 different types of dough. Well, for the main part, we have 3 different types of dough. We've got our yeast raised dough, which is a double proof. Takes a little bit of time to make it. It's big and pillowy and chewy. And then we have our old fashioned dough, which our chef Maddie came up with, and it is definitely one of our top sellers. And then you can put anything on top of it. One of my favorite things to do is an old fashioned. So you put the cocktail ingredients on top of the old fashioned, just have a good time.
Ah.
Whiskey always cuts through the dough really nice.
Yeah.
And then we have our cruller dough that people get mad at us when it's not in stock, or they'll just turn around and leave when we don't have it because it's outstanding.
So they said Krispy Kreme's a great choice if you only have one. Sitting outside watching the machine work at 5 a.m. is a southern rite of passage.
I totally, and I loved it. I would eat like 4 of them.
Yeah, but the thing about Krispy Kreme though, they give you the free one off the belt, and then why do you need to even go? I would just leave. That's it.
Right.
I'm great. You can't get a fresher donut. Freshest donut wins every time.
Yeah, right off the belt is like no other.
I want to burn my mouth from the grease out of the fryer as I pull it out.
Little trick, I probably know it. 15 seconds in the microwave tastes just exactly like it.
Yeah,
Just like that.
bing.
So, have you ever tasted the Cronut, Dominic Ansel's Cronut?
Nope, I've never, ever, I don't want to stand in a line or anything. It's just me being lazy, I guess. I don't know.
I've had a Descent though. I haven't had a Cronut.
I've had a knockoff.
Yeah,
It was outstanding, and I went right in and bought it, and I left, and it was really good.
yeah. If you ever get a chance and there's not a line, I highly recommend trying it. It's often duplicated, but you know,
Yeah.
nothing like an OG.
I love the boxes.
Yeah, right?
Great
I
value. The
mean,
packaging is fabulous.
Outstanding.
The boxes are awesome.
Jealous of the packaging.
Have you been approached to franchise?
Yes.
And you know what? Have you entertained anything like that, or is what's kind of?
I do every day.
Yeah. Actually, we took a different approach. We actually licensed our brand, where you know, we actually already have a licensee location, and it's an international location, and we are looking to expand internationally through licensee locations, where you get our name, our trademark, recipes, our merchandise, our technique and know-how. We teach you. We help you open it. We supply you with recipes on all of our weekend specials, and you know, we babysit, but it's not a total control
Oh, that's great.
Which franchise is a little bit more controlling, where you get your ingredients from them, or they, you know, everything has to be approved by them. So we do license our brand.
Can you find that where can you find that information for those of people watching that may want to find that?
info@thedonutproject.com.
Yeah, just
Skype,
shoot
reach
us
out
an
to us.
email.
Just send an email, okay? Because
Yeah.
that's interesting. I haven't heard anyone talk about doing something like that. It's always been
We have a licensee already in Saudi Arabia, actually.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. So I know that we talked a lot about donuts today, and you know, I know how busy you all are, and you know, so tell everybody, you know, where to go to find out more besides sending the email if you're interested in licensing, but you know, about where people should go to find more information about the Doughnut Project, and let us know where to go.
Definitely Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. It is the Doughnut Project, and the word donut is spelled out the correct way. That is where we communicate with any new menu items, what our weekend special is going to be. It's a conversation with our customers, and it's a conversation of donuts. It's all about donuts. Obviously, our website. You can go to our website. You can pre-order donuts on our website to pick up. Right now, we're not actually delivering. Our only delivery vehicle is through Postmates, so there is a radius of where they will go. So our website, our Instagram, I mean, we're on Facebook, but we don't really do anything with that. And we're on Twitter, but we don't really do anything with that either. So Instagram.
Sounds good. And a lot of people are saying, open up a shop in the UK.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
Let's go right now.
Totally. I'm my number one choice.
Can you open in Seattle?
Yes.
Can you open in Florida? Can you?
Yes.
Yes. We want to.
All these, you know, a lot of these people are saying, you know, we just want more of the Doughnut Project, and can't wait for coronavirus to be over so that we can come back and visit the shop.
Definitely. Come visit us in the West Village in New York City. We're gonna always be having fun. We're always gonna have something exciting on the menu, and we can't wait for people to be able to travel to see us.
I agree. I'm excited to get back in there eventually when all this is said and done. But again, thank you so much for your time today. Really enjoyed it. You know, Troy, it's nice meeting you for the first time.
Yeah, nice to see your face.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting you in the very near future. Final thing that we'll close with: what are some of the merchandise that Donut Project
Great question.
has?
You keep getting photobombed. You know this, right? There's a whole
Oh.
other side.
I don't even realize I'm so focused into the.
I love it. I love it. Wait, hold on. What's on your shirt?
It says, "I don't care."
I don't.
Well, you can definitely order on our website merchandise, and we have a small inventory in our shop of these shirts right now. But we release new shirts periodically at Turning Point Room.
Oh, yeah.
We have hats.
Used to have a hat.
Yeah. So we love merchandise. It's tricky, you know.
And we have a sandwich board if you want me to.
And we have an awesome Donuts neon sign.
That's right. I'll mail it to you. I'll email it to you.
Yeah. No, but we want to expand the merchandise 100%. But if you go on our website, there's a lot more options that you can print to order.
I have the beanie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, the beanie. Yeah. The
Yeah.
beanie.
I don't wear it very much in South
Yeah, I was
Florida.
gonna say it's a good time of year to wear it in Florida.
No, we've had bandanas, we've had socks, we've had beanies, we've had tote bags, beach towels, t-shirts, hats, you name it. Magnets, stickers. We have cool stickers too. We need to do more stickers.
Awesome. Well, I'll have to get some of that merchandise next time I come in because
Yes.
my hat's in storage because it's with all my winter gear when I travel. So again, thank you very much for today. Everybody, go on. We're gonna do a six donut giveaway, and we'll post that after so that you can follow the Donut Project, comment, share with friends, and let's see if we can get some record-breaking numbers here for people to participate in this giveaway. Have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hopefully everyone enjoys donuts on tomorrow. Go to the Donut Project, get donuts for tomorrow if you're not already sold out.
Yeah.
And thanks again. Have a great
Thank
weekend.
you.
All right, take care.
Bye, Ryan.
Bye-bye.